So if you're getting ready to sell your home, you've probably made a list of items to tackle around the house, maybe declutter the rooms, paint the walls, fix any broken or worn items. Maximizing the visual appeal of your home is essential when you want to sell. But there's one very important task to add to that list, making sure that your home had a scent that will please the masses. We all have that olfactory kind of attachment to some particular smell. It makes us feel a particular way. And in the kitchen to give us a few tips is Chef Tjaart. Tjaartie.
Good morning.
This is quite unconventional. When I came in here and I saw the cotton wool and the light bulb, I thought, it's just another day with Tjaart. But take nothing away from this. It's an amazing trick, and I've actually gone into a house where someone had vanilla pods in the oven, or creating the smell. You want to create these beautiful smells, but whether you're selling a house or not, whether you're just wanting to beautify, just make a more conducive living environment, you've got some great. Can I call them kitchen hacks?
Well, I suppose a kitchen in a sense. I mean, all these things generally come out of the kitchen as well. I mean, they generally are. And it's one of those things you do. You want this sort of sensual experience, and I think the kitchen is such a sensual place at home, and how much we relate to. So just having a look there. I mean, the aroma here. I mean, I wish everyone could smell it at home because it is just so comforting here.
So let's start this corner, because I'm on the vanilla corner, and that's the first thing that kind of wafted and hit me. Vanilla is one of our favourite scents.
Absolutely. It is something that is just so magical. We put it into bakes, we put it into cookies, and you can put it into food as a whole. So there's lots of different things you can do with the vanilla. And vanilla, you've obviously all the pods, but like extract or essence, it's really got the punch. More so if you want to keep it natural, go for the extract, not the essence. Remember, essence is completely manufactured, where extract is actually from the actual pod itself.
Just drop my leaf stage. I mean, that's a massive thing.
So like that, you can obviously put into the oven and allow the oven that heat, to start to permeate through the home. Or you could go and, I mean, where these things are great, is go and dab that in. So I mean, imagine you've got little kids, you got little ones, or a little one, another one on the way. But imagine going to hide those in different places in the house, behind the curtains.
Just out of reach of little hands.
Well, absolutely.
Where cats can get hold of them.
Get rid of the animals and all the rest of it as well.
You even drop a little bit of into like your dishwashing liquid.
Absolutely. Anything that sort of, where it really works is the application of heat. But also you got to be very careful as well that you don't go too far, because you can often start to burn it and you get that sort of, that rancid kind of smell as well. And that's when you start looking at things like your spices. So, you got star anise, cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, and a bit of ginger. Think of your warm, or what I term as, these are your sweet spices.
They warm you up in winter. I think of sitting around a fire in winter, all wrapped up.
Yeah, and you're going to think of things like spices like that go into your glue vine. Does that make sense?
100%.
You like a bit of glue vine, that hot red wine, for those who enjoy that there. That's what you got. So your cloves, that really does work well. Again, you could make a bit of a paste with say your cinnamon or a little bit of nutmeg, a bit of water, and then bake that in the oven as well.
Just imagine my fiance coming to us. What are you doing? This house smells great, but what on earth are you doing? Why have you got a light bulb here?
Well, because I had one of those moments. But taking that, a light bulb, just brush it with a little bit of essential oil. Almond oil, again, vanilla, an oil. So you want an essential oil, and then pop it on. And again, that heat is going to start to diffuse the actual aroma.
Creating your own little diffuser with that, a diffuser with your light bulb.
Exactly. Everything's a diffuser of in some form or another. So light bulb, even with pine cones. I mean, they've got the aroma. I mean, imagine to burn those up as well. You really intensify it.
All very European as well. This is feeling like a European winter.
Well, I suppose it is. You have this association. We all have an association as well.
Completely.
I mean, imagine things like coffee. I mean, we all love a coffee in the morning. Again, the grounds of coffee, that aroma, or just a steeping away on the side works well. I believe, personally, always it works really well if you're trying to sell your home, is bread. Freshly baked bread. Oh, you cannot beat that smell. It is just
having
amazing.
These kind of spices and the cloves and things, wafting through the house, it's going to smell like something's been baking. It's going to make people feel relaxed.
Well, that's what it does. It's exactly what the whole objective of these aromas there. You just go and they're like, oh my goodness, I can relate it to what it's like at home. But as I said, imagine making just, flour, water, just throw these spices in, mix it up, bake it. Done.
offer them a scone as they leave the house as well. Just say, yeah, freshly baked, just for you. I'll tell you one thing that this has made me feel is really hungry. So I'm going to ask you to stick around so we can actually delve into some culinary conundrums a little bit later. I think that was incredibly insightful. Thank you so much. Next up, we're going to talk about 5 kitchen staples in your home that will make your life so much easier. More kitchen hacks coming. And remember, we love to hear from you, so please continue to post any comments, any questions for our culinary team on our social media pages. Just scanning through some of them this week. They have been superb, so thank you so much and keep them coming.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome to the Culinary Hotline. Bling!
Sing, sing,
Sing! We love this stage of the show because you guys, of course, engage with us, give us some amazing kitchen conundrums, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with Chef Tjaart this morning. We are talking about kitchen staples, and we've got some great comments and questions coming through from you guys, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to start right off the bat with this comment coming from Fazeka Shazi. She says, what are the 5 basic staples for dinner to create flexibility in the kitchen?
Well, there's always a few components, little things that lurk in the fridge or in the cupboard. One, tin tomatoes, or
100%.
a tin version of something. But I mean, tomatoes are always a great base, so I think that's always one there. Spinach comes to mind as well. That's in the bottom of the drawer. You know, that packet that usually gets sort of found at the very back. Yes,
like, oh my,
guilty.
it's still there. Yeah.
And then eggs. I think everybody has eggs, and we can have them for breakfast. You can have them for lunch. You can have them for dinner. But I mean, really versatile ingredient at that, and lots you can play around with. And then chicken, I think, is probably one of our sort of real big staples in this part of the world. We consume so much of it, and it's something we have in the freezer, or we've bought a fresh packet, the day before from the supermarket.
And it's one of the less expensive proteins as well.
Absolutely, super affordable. And then pasta, another sort of dry ingredient that's in the cupboard, that's there in different shapes and different forms. So I think those are your 5 really basic kind of things that we have always, that you can create a meal out of, for a few people or for many.
And also breakfast, lunch, and supper as well, which is great.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's a challenge, my good sir. I want you to create a delicious meal out of these staples. Can you throw them together?
Well, I sort of saying really simple and something that's gorgeous is a quick shushka, because I mean it's just something that you can have at any point of the day, really. But typical sort of from the Mediterranean. Actually put this into my cookbook, Summer Food, which has got everything in it. I mean, so I've got really extravagant. It's got sausages and bacon and everything as well. But we're going to keep it really simple. So I've started to just spread off a little bit of onions in a little bit of oil.
Okay.
So bringing those down to there.
Browning them nicely.
Brown them very nicely.
This has made all of our poor guests, every time they have to walk through the kitchen, they're like, I'm getting so hungry now.
I want to eat.
I'm getting
Give me
so
some
hungry
food.
now, yeah.
A little bit of garlic, a pinch of salt and pepper as well. And then I want to get a lovely depth of colour is paprika. All right. So again, you've got these things in your drawer. That spice drawer that's lurking there.
I
start thinking.
challenge you to find someone who doesn't have a thing of paprika sitting in their spice cabinet.
And then obviously your knock spice. Remember what that is? I'm sure I've told you this over the years. Knock spice. Come in. Cumin.
Cumin.
Yeah.
No,
You remember that one, huh? So anyway, so you can just chuck that in as well. There we go. Wednesday morning's not your best morning, huh?
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway, so cumin, coriander you could use. So again, be versatile. Whatever you've got in your cupboard, you don't have to rush out and go and get it.
But you've already added bucket loads of flavour. Just
I mean, look at that. I mean, the colour. I always say colour is flavour.
Gives you a good indication.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then from there, taking your tin tomatoes. I mean, imagine you've got some beans, some red kidney beans, whatever you've got, you can really add to this. So you can really jazz this up beautifully and mix all that together.
And again, tin tomato is pretty inexpensive as well.
Inexpensive,
at the base
absolutely.
of so many things. I mean, even just a pasta with tin tomatoes and a little bit of garlic and, some flavouring, boom.
That's
on your way.
done, absolutely.
Okay.
Right, that's up to the boil there, so let's just sort of fast track a couple of minutes there. Let's get a little bit of spinach into here as well. So let's just sort of just to wilt that down ever so slightly.
You don't want to cook out too much of the nutrients of especially a baby spinach.
No, not at all. And we're going to bake this off just now as well. So once the spinach is in there, what I want you to do is just make a couple of pockets in here. Because what we then do...
Egg pockets. Okay,
egg pockets, there we go, yeah. And you're literally going to take your egg and just crack it directly into there. So what's going to happen is the egg's actually going to poach in this tomato spicy sauce. Let's just make a little bit more here.
Wonderful. The keyword
let's-
here is dish. You SMS dish to 33728 and you can, it's a shakshuka.
Shakshuka, absolutely. Now, we're gonna take this here, pop it into the oven, and literally bake it for 8 to 12 minutes, 180 degrees, and then let it come out. I mean, and that's a dish in itself. It's done.
Absolutely beautiful. It's pungent, it's delicious, it's nutritious as well.
Oh.
And it's been made using just a few of the
Absolutely.
kitchen staples that you can have in your kitchen.
And fresh herbs if you got from the garden, sprinkle over, and that's what it looks like when it's all baked up beautifully. I mean, a little, fresh baguette, just even some bread, just some toast, just really simple staple things.
You definitely want something to be able to kind of make
Pop
the
it all
most
up,
out of that,
absolutely.
that beautiful, beautiful
Anyway,
sauce.
I hope I made your challenge all right.
You crushed that challenge. And again, the keyword is dish to 33728. You can be creating something truly amazing with, I guarantee you, something you probably have sitting in your kitchen right now. We're going to continue to talk kitchen staples in our culinary hotline. Bling!
Sing, sing, sing.
Welcome back to the Culinary Hotline. Bling!
Sing, sing, sing.
Amagwinya, also known as vet cook, is a delightful, I'm going to say it, delightful South African dish that can be enjoyed with anything. Cheese, bologna, mince, syrup, egg, scrambled egg, really, really nice. Bacon, jam. It is just one of the most versatile, most amazing South African staples ever. And Chef Tjaart is here to show us how to make the perfect amagwinya and also answer a very important question, because it looks easy to make, but it's not always the easiest thing to make. You want it to come out perfectly, because
Sure.
there is a tendency for it to get a little bit stodgy or a little bit heavy or maybe too oily. So I'm gonna start with a comment or a question that came through from Limpo Lilian Chukuru. So Limpo, thank you so much for connecting with us. I think this came through on our Facebook page. She says, my fat cakes, aka magwinya, comes out heavy. What am I doing wrong? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, anyway, so a couple of things are going to be important. Getting your flour and your water ratio correct as well, because if you make it too wet, it's not going to be able to hold itself, and it's going to sort of leach out.
Okay.
So that's going to be very important to get those ratio. And again, you don't want it too hard, because obviously you're not going to get the wonderful lightness, that softness to it. But that all really aside, I think to me the most important thing actually is your oil.
Okay.
To make sure your oil is hot enough. And again, but also at the same time, you're not too hot.
Because she says, she adds here that though the first one comes out nicely.
Okay.
So,
well, I tell you exactly where her problem is. There is your first batch. You go in, you put it into oil. Oil's lovely and hot, and off you go. Boom, boom, boom. Life, little fluffy, amagwinya is what you've got. Then she's going in to make her next batch, and the oil has not got back up to temperature. I cannot emphasize. Allow the oil to get back up to temperature again before you do your next batch. And fewer at a time, then more. Don't try and sort of just throw everything in here.
Too much of that heat
Absolutely.
out. So take the time, take the love. How do you know when the oil's at the right temperature?
Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's quite difficult on here. Don't put your finger in here, because it's going to be at 180 degrees, but that's where you want it. I mean, ideally, a thermostatic fryer.
Okay.
What I always suggest is put it on, and if you've got gas, it's a little bit more easier to control. If it's electric, put it on to setting number 4, number 5, and that's it. Don't put it on to number 6, and then leave it on number 6, and then start trying to turn it down. Put it on to 5, and over a period of time, bring it up to temperature as well. You can always take a little bit of dough just to see that it is sort of going there just now.
Bubbles.
Absolutely.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, well, let's get cracking and
But let's start with the dough.
How to make it.
Absolutely.
Show us how to make
flour is
base.
the basic, and then dried yeast. So
Okay.
dried yeast to one side, and I think actually not so long ago I said make sure your yeast and your salt at
Because that
other
will
ends.
kill that.
There we go. Good.
Okay.
And then some sugar, because that's going to be a bit of food for the yeast to get
eat,
going.
okay.
All right, and then we can just make a little bit of a well in the center, and then some water. If you want to speed up the process, slightly warmer water. Obviously, make sure you can hold your finger in it,
Okay.
because obviously blood temperature. You don't want more than that, because otherwise you're going to kill the yeast.
Kill the yeast again.
Yeah.
You've got to remember that your yeast is a little living thing that needs
There we
to be
go, absolutely.
nurtured to grow.
Oh, you were listening on the show the other day, weren't you? Or a few weeks ago, when we did that.
Come in. I'm going to use that dad joke. That's going to be my kitchen dad joke for life.
It's a terrible dad joke kind of thing, isn't it? Anyway, whoopsie. Add your water into here, but don't add all of it as per the recipe. You can always add in more as you
Okay,
go along
you
there.
can't go backwards,
You
yeah.
can't go. You don't want to really go backwards.
Yeah.
So keep adding that on, and then keep mixing that until it comes to a dough. Once it all comes to a dough, then knead it on the surface for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
If you have the luxury of a
Gluten's kind of spread that.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you have the luxury of a mixer, pop into a mixer, and off you go. Once you've then made your dough, so we can just swap that over, your dough's gonna be a much smaller ball, and just cover it with a little bit of cling film, and then you want to allow it to double in size.
Leave it to proof.
Leave it to proof.
How long does that normally take?
So again, it depends on your temperature of your water. If your water is warm, it's gonna be a lot quicker. If it's in a warm place, it'll be quicker. But if it's in a cooler environment, you know, I don't know what's the weather doing. There's no windows. You know, it depends on what it's like outside there. You know, if is the kitchen warm, is it cold? So all those factors come into.
The key thing is that it must have doubled in size.
Absolutely. Cool. And then from there, just knock that back, and you can see how it sort of shrinks back into basically nothing. At the end of the day, so leave it double in size, which you saw there. You can see how lovely and smooth it is. When you actually, to know that it's actually kneaded sufficiently, that it actually shouldn't tear.
Okay,
all right,
then the
so if it's lovely and smooth, you've stretched out the glutens, all right?
Okay.
But again, lovely and smooth, you've kneaded sufficiently for you then to do your lovely little fit cooks.
Okay.
All right, and then from there, all you need to do, I always say, you know, you can cut this in half or just take a piece
with your practiced hands.
With your practiced hands.
That's cool.
Like that to get the perfect. So you want to get that wonderful smooth shape there because it's also going to affect your overall outcome. So that's out there, nice and smooth. And then literally with your thumb and your index finger, get it behind that dough there.
And that gives you the perfect portion size. Yeah.
Nip it, portion size. Again, consistency is absolutely key here. Yeah, you can just. Sorry, you can just cut it up as well if you wanted to, and just create little balls as well, both onto the counter, make them work.
You create that perfect size, and I like that. I like the size of these fat. I know some people going for like a massive fat cook or whatever, but this is perfect.
Absolutely.
You can eat more this way. The key word is eat. You SMS eat to 33728, and you can be creating your fit cook at home beautifully, deliciously. Okay, so we're going to click start now.
Just talking very quickly early on, you're talking about, you know, is your oil hot enough? Just take a little piece and pop that in, and let's have a quick squiz, and you can see that is plenty hot enough to get going there. Okay. So let's just take those very carefully. Please don't drop them in because the oil's going to go everywhere.
It's going to pop up.
Just pop them into there.
And don't overfill your pot.
Absolutely. I mean, few at a time is the way to go on that there.
Oh, I absolutely love it. That keyword again is eat to 33728. Then you'll SMS that, you get a sent a link, you click on the link, then the recipe is yours, and then you can start creating. And then once you've got this beautiful base, you can take it anywhere. What's your favorite filling?
Oh, well, you know what we made earlier? That shushka. Imagine that. Oh, I mean, there we can go like that.
Come on.
Oh, indeed.
Yolk breaking, absolutely beautiful. Chef Tjaart, thank you so much, my friend.
Absolute pleasure, thank you.
Some absolute gems today. I love it. From vanilla in the oven to kitchen staples and how to make the best. Amagwinya, our culinary hotline team, is here to help you in any way we can in the kitchen with any of those conundrums or any recipes, cooking methods, just advice. We love to continue that conversation on our Facebook page. So you go there right now, post your questions, and most importantly, post pictures of your amazing fit cook this morning and what you are filling it with.